Every language has its own sound, structure, and rhythm. Each one carries a distinct feeling. Italian flows with melody. German, by contrast, sounds sharper and more rigid. And sometimes, it feels as if a single person, fluent in both, expresses two different personalities. But can language truly shape who we are? There is a concept known as linguistic relativity. It suggests that the languages we speak influence how we see the world. They shape how we perceive reality, how we experience time, how we remember events, how we behave, and even how we understand ourselves. Let's start with perception. Every language uses its own set of words to describe the world around us, and these differences subtly change how we interpret what we see. For example, Italian speakers assign gender to objects, while English speakers do not. This influence goes beyond grammar. It even affects how space is perceived. Some indigenous tribes, such as the Cook and Aro peoples, do not use the concepts of left or right at all. Instead, they rely entirely on cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. They might say, "Pass me the salt that's southwest of the pepper." Not surprisingly, they possess extraordinary navigation skills. Language also shapes our sense of time. Because languages are written in different directions, people who write from left to right often imagine time moving the same way. Speakers of Arabic or Hebrew may visualize it in reverse. In the Emil language of Papua New Guinea, there are three distinct past tenses: earlier today, yesterday, and the distant past. To choose the correct verb, speakers must carefully consider when an event actually occurred. As a result, they tend to perceive the past with far greater precision. Language even affects memory. In English, if a child accidentally breaks a vase, we often say, "He broke the vase." Responsibility is placed directly on the person. In Spanish, the phrasing is different. "The vase broke." The focus shifts away from the individual and toward the event itself. A small linguistic difference, with surprisingly large consequences. Studies show that speakers of languages like Spanish are more likely to view such events as accidental and are less likely to remember who was involved. In languages that emphasize intention, people involved in events are remembered more clearly. And when a case goes to court, a defendant is far more likely to be found guilty if the language used during the trial is active, as it is in English. Now let's look at behavior. Languages are deeply connected to the cultures and environments in which they are learned. As a result, multilingual speakers gain access to different sides of themselves. Research on Spanish-English bilinguals has shown that switching languages can also mean switching personality traits. When speaking English, participants appeared more friendly and agreeable. When they switched to Spanish, they showed higher levels of emotional intensity and neuroticism. Finally, there is our sense of self. The words we use shape how we think about who we are. Self-affirming language, in particular, activates brain regions linked to reward and self-perception. This can significantly boost confidence. The effect even extends to physical sensations. Bilingual individuals often report experiencing stronger pain when speaking their native language. In theory, if one language represents a larger part of our identity, it also triggers deeper and more intense bodily responses. There are roughly 7,000 languages in the world. No one knows exactly how each of them shapes the human mind. But one thing is certain. Language influences our thoughts and fundamentally shapes how we perceive reality. In Thai, for example, the word heart is woven into everyday language and used to describe positive personal qualities. A kind person is said to have a good heart. A patient person has a cool heart. And a generous person has a big heart. As linguist Benjamin Lee Whorf once wrote, "Language is not merely a tool for expressing ideas. It is the force that shapes them, a program and a guide for human thought." So when you decide to learn a new language, remember this. You are not just learning new words. You are opening your mind to a new way of seeing and interacting with the world. What do you think? Do you speak more than one language? And if so, do you feel your behavior change with the language you use? Share your thoughts and your experience in the comments.